When you watch Kallie Seimet play on the volleyball court, you'll not only see one of the nation's top defenders, but you'll see someone that always looks like they're having fun. So how did one of the nation's top defenders end up at BGSU? Well, like every athlete, their journey has to begin somewhere. And for Kallie, her love of the game began at a very young age.
I started when I was about 10 years old, and then I learned all the basics of volleyball, and once you get through all that stuff, you'll start loving it and loving playing and understanding the game. So after I learned how to do everything and just how the sport was played, I loved it and I wanted to keep going.
When it came down to pick a college for Kallie, there were many factors that led to her choosing BG over any other school.
There's a bunch of different factors. One of my old coaches, someone I learned from, she played here when I was in high school, I think. So she taught me, and then my family being close, they can come to all my games, and the environment here and the coaches were really nice, and just the culture of the team. And I knew that they were struggling, but they were developing a good championship culture. So I wanted to be a part of that and make that better.
As a freshman, Kallie was named libero for the Falcon squad, but sophomore year, Coach Tomic had a tough choice to make as to who she thought the libero should be.
We had conversations about that. It was very, very close. I mean, their numbers when we were deciding who we're going to start as a libero, Kallie sophomore year, Madeline Garda senior year, I decided, it was my decision that we're going to go with Maddie. It was just some intangible things that I felt Maddie would be better in that role. Not that Kallie wouldn't, but it was a decision that we made.
Although Coach Tomic went with Madeline Garda, she saw this as a learning experience for Kallie.
And I had conversations with Kallie, and I told her this year will make you, in the long run, is going to make you better.
Kallie took notice of what made Garda produce so well and made adjustments to how she prepared for the volleyball season.
So after my sophomore year, I came in every day pretty much with one of my assistant coaches, and I made him hit at me or what he thought I needed to improve on. I just asked him, and he made me work really hard then. And I just learned that you always have to get better when someone's not watching, because that's what matters once fall comes, is all the work you put in the past.
When you look at the stats for leaders for digs per set in volleyball, you don't have to look far for Kallie's name. For 2 years straight, the Oregon, Ohio native has led the nation in this category and now sits at the top of the record books for most career digs in BGSU history. Although the senior takes notice of these records, she feels as though she couldn't have done it without much help.
It's a little surreal. I don't look at it all the time. It's something that's kind of in the back of my mind, and especially when I'm struggling with confidence or anything mentally, it's something that I can go back to and be like, okay, just because you had one practice doesn't mean it's the end of the world or anything, but it is nice to see, just because it means that I can keep up with all the best in the countries. And I couldn't do it without my team though either, just because my name's up there doesn't mean that they have no part of it. They lead to that too. So
despite playing at such a high level, it isn't the digs or the serves that the coaches will miss, but Kallie's personality and leadership.
Kallie has developed into, in the 2 years I've known her, has grown in a leadership capacity that has really influenced the team. She holds herself to an extremely high standard, and even when people would say, oh, that was good, or that was a good dig or a good pass, she's like, no, it wasn't up to my standard.
Her expectations for herself carries on through everyone, and she set a great example and helped create a culture that's helped us win in the last few years.
She's like that little kid who just started playing volleyball. We see that when we do our little Falcons here, and we get 7, 8, 9-year-olds who just for the first time they're playing volleyball, and they get that serve for the first time over the net, or they just pass the ball really well or set, and that smile on their face, that's Kallie the whole time. She just loves the game. She's not stressed. If you look through our photo album of our game shots, I don't think you can find a photo of Kallie where she's not smiling.
Despite having virtually no photographic evidence of her not smiling, Kallie swears there are times if you look close enough.
If you look closely, if we're not playing great, there is definitely a time where I'm not as bubbly and fun, but most of the time I try to keep a positive face on, and that's good that you guys see that.
At the end of the day for Kallie, it was never about the wins or losses, but the friendships she's made here that she'll miss the most.
Developing just the team chemistry and all the friendships that came along all 4 years has been like my favorite memory, and would have never made them without volleyball or like without all the workout people or my assistant coaches or anyone. So just the friendship I made along the way have been awesome.
Kallie's infectious personality will surely be missed next year, but wherever she goes, she'll be remembered as one of the best Falcons to play for BGSU volleyball.